Should we do like a vote?
Oh.
Or
I think we should vote.
Nice. Okay, wait.
If we're doing this,
Do you wanna
I
be-
feel like this is, and then seeing like who
I
has
I got
the
another
most
20 minutes. We're good.
qualities.
It
Yeah.
only videos in 20-minute increments. That's what it is.
Yay.
Okay.
Oh,
So we're
sweet.
back at it.
Cool.
We're good.
Okay, cool.
Do we want to have the conversation of selection process on camera, or do we want to?
I say we get another 20 minutes, and then we get a final 5 minutes of our decision.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. You might as well just keep
We're
going
back.
with that.
I don't think that the decision should be decided by who has the most letters. I think it should just be like, because they have different weights to each other. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
That's true. But it's a nice way to go.
Yeah.
through.
It's like a thought process.
So actually, that's a really good point. How should we weigh the factors? Because I know a lot, like in taking HR classes, for hiring and things or any performance management thing, you want to have your factors, you weight them, you score a person on a scale, multiply that by their weights, that determines their score. If we want to create a system like that,
That's
we
what
can.
That'd be a good idea, yeah.
Sure.
I mean, like, if
Let's do
anything, too, like, if it's, like, the person who's not getting the position, like, might want to know why, and maybe this is, like, a good opportunity to show them, like, business development,
You don't have anything to hide.
Yeah.
You're not,
Yeah,
you're
for
not
sure.
trying to kind of like, well, wait, you want to
And they'll find it beneficial because, like, kind of, it's almost like getting a checkup on, like,
Yeah, it's
how they're
feedback.
doing, yeah.
And especially with two people that have had conversations of saying, I'd like to be promoted, I'm career minded, it's good to reduce liability and just be super
True,
transparent
yeah.
with that.
Otherwise, one might just leave.
Yeah, true.
We might want to just in going forward, not speak for people. Like we just go off personal qualities, but like we don't really know if Tom and his family would be able to move. So let's say that they can. Like
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
just assume that they can. If not, automatically we know who else it would be if you couldn't
Sure.
move. But
Yeah, that's a really good point.
So where we're at is Sissel with conflict management, Tom with technical skills experience, Sissel with organization, and that comes with kind of implementation as well. We're at
Tom with creativity
okay.
or innovation.
Creativity. And with two we have left, and we could add more, is control position and ability to leave. Should we just get rid of ability to leave?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think as a technical, like, legal thing, I don't know if you could put that on
Assume,
on a performance management.
Wait, I thought it was ability to leave their position.
Yeah, with their
not
team,
impact.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, that's a better way
Like,
to
yeah,
define
ability
it.
to leaving their
Impacted
current
leaving.
teams. So, like, in that
Yeah,
sense,
that's good.
it
So
would
like
probably
company
be
liability,
like,
Yeah.
depending on based on the qualities, it would probably be more like Sissel's team that might, feel, if she's like leaves the team to go.
More okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think both
No,
of them
more,
would be-
they're
both would be
like, they
owners.
might have a better, like, relationship with her or something like that. If she's like a super outgoing person, like,
Oh, I
you know
see
what I
what you're
mean?
saying.
Like, they would be more like,
Impacted if she left.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh.
I feel like it's sort of hard to say
Yeah.
what would happen if Tom left though, since he leads by example.
Right.
So like, how would his team work if they didn't have a leader who led by example?
off the rails. Yeah. a
Yeah,
little
would
bit.
they just like lose all motivation, or would they just like
yeah,
tap
that's
to the
true
new
too.
manager?
Mm-hmm.
Especially after such a long time of him being there.
Yeah.
I think both of them
Good
would
question.
have a huge
Should-
splash.
Should we take that out then? Because it's like hard to know with their teams. We
No.
don't know if we
Yeah.
like were in the company
Don't
and
know
like
individual
knew
people.
the
Yeah,
relationship
that's
that they
a good
had
point.
with their team, I think that would be easier. But like just based off their qualities, I feel like
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to tell.
What if, yeah, that's a really good point. What if we, towards the end, once we've kind of made our decision, then we can make a plan for, we can kind of go the extra step of saying, this is the plan, we're moving this person to the new position, the vacant position, here's what we're going to do with the other person, here's what we're going to do with the team that's losing its leader, and kind of create a faux pas plan.
Or just looking for to fill that position, looking for the same
Within
qualities.
the
of-
team maybe because
Yeah.
they know how the leader
Definitely.
led maybe.
Definitely. Cool, okay, so what are our,
We're at control position. So both of them have the same position, but what has each of them done with it? Tom has had a lot more experience, but he's also, his main thing is that he's been able to improve the department repeatedly, and that's been adopted by everybody else. I think that he should be in a place that has a lot of connections to other plants personally, because like if you're able to be a big influencer, you might help the whole company. But Sissel has been able to eliminate all of the enemies, and that seems like it's something that's normally been pretty normal, and also like has been really able to delegate, which is a huge part of control.
Yeah.
So what's everybody thinking?
If control position has two subcategories, and they are delegation and conflict management or conflict resolution,
Yeah, conflict resolution.
it would seem that Sissel leads in both of those categories.
We already have conflict.
Yeah, we do. I'm just putting subcategories because that is both parts.
Mhm.
Oh.
Of control position.
Yeah. I don't think that improving the company has that much of a control position as much as it is like a leadership kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they seem to both have done an equal
Yeah.
job, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Sure. So sorry, what are our three large factors? There's control position, which is delegated into
Conflict and
and
delegation.
delegation.
We have organization and implementation, which is pretty much split. But technical skills and creativity and innovation. So basically, let me reorganize this. So we got control position, which is conflict and delegation.
Yeah.
We got technical skills experience. And we got the other ones that I have written down are organization, implementation, creativity and innovation, and we're not including, or impact of leaving the team. So what if we put the organization, implementation, and the creativity and innovation, because that's,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll divide technical skills into implementation and creativity, and then there's impact of leaving. That's a 3. Control position, technical skills experience, which are each split into 2, and impact of leaving.
And the two are developing and then implementing.
For control, it's conflict management and delegation,
Okay.
and technical skills experience is creativity and implementing those
Okay.
ideas.
Cool. Okay.
Should we like throw, I'm thinking about, so when we're gonna be like rating it, or with like numbers and stuff, should we add in like attributes and skills under each of these that we think?
I'd say we just give it like an out of, what if we made, which do you guys think is the most important out of these? We got 1, can't do a 2 upside down.
Oh, like how to weight
2,
them?
3.
What do you think, Michael?
I feel like for a higher position, conflict resolution and delegation probably weigh the highest. Since that's like gonna be their main job. Because I feel like implementing and creativity, even though those are really good characteristics to have, those would be more like manager level skill, but like for like a head of a department, you're more just like managing the managers. You don't necessarily need to do those two.
You're not in the technical nitty gritty stuff.
Yeah,
yet.
that's
Yeah.
true, it's more about managing your team.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point.
I think it would actually just be like 1, 2, 3
Yeah,
in that order.
I agree, actually.
So, like, about 20 points for 10 each for these two. And then, I don't want to say 5 each for these two, I think that's too outweighed. But like 15 each for
Yeah,
these two.
if it's like-
10.
So if it's like a total like 100%, we have to allocate to what? Is it 5 things?
5 things.
Okay, 100% to allocate. What is the? Sorry, what were the numbers again that you were saying?
1, 2, 3. So if we made
Yeah.
15 each, this would be 30.
Okay.
And then if we had,
100%, right?
yeah, and tough
What if we
math.
did? What if we did 20/20? That's 40.
Yeah.
15/15. That's 30. And then
30. Last one would be 30 then.
oh
Oh,
no.
right.
Ooh.
Well, I think since it'd be the smallest, it's just its own category.
60, 30, 10. 30, 30, 15, 15, 10.
Sure.
or?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
sounds good.
that makes
Yeah,
Yeah, that
that's
makes
smart.
sense.
That's smart, yeah, as percentages, perfect.
15, 15, 10.
33. Uh-huh.
60, 100.
Cool. So, just go into both of them. And I think that it's definitely more of a benefit than a con that Tom's a father with multiple kids, because I think that's a big managerial thing, and also like, if he's still able to work this hard having 2 kids,
Mhm.
I can't say that that's something I'd be able to do, even plus.
That's true.
I don't know how he
also,
sleeps.
like, does someone's like personal life, should that really affect their capability as a, like, because she is single and unmarried and because he's a father, like, does that really, you know, can you weigh those
I would
evenly or make a decision based on their personal lives?
I wouldn't say based on evenly. I would say that a personal quality versus a personal experience are the 2 different things. Like,
But
'cause
then wouldn't that, I'm just saying, for
I get-
example, if we like promoted, if Tom was promoted on the basis of him being fatherly and able to manage, I don't know, family, isn't that seen as like not promoting someone because they're not married?
I
You know what I
agree.
mean?
I agree with that, and I think that when we think of ability to leave, it should be about the position that the department is left in, rather than their actual capacity to be able to leave, given their personal lives. From a
Because they've both
Yeah.
expressed interest in the promotion, which leads me to believe that they've both thought about the possibility or the consequences of being promoted, so that wouldn't have been expressed otherwise.
Yeah, that's
You know,
true.
like if it was a big enough issue for both Tom and Sissel to be leaving, then they wouldn't have, I guess, put themselves in that position.
we should try to imagine them as if they're
Both
person
peoples.
T and person S, and we don't know anything about them other than what's on their
Yeah.
performance management
Yeah.
rosters.
Okay.
Cool.
okay, so now just want to grade each one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do
On
it.
a 1 through 5 scale, 5 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we got
Control position.
control positions. Start with conflict management
With Sissel?
with Sissel.
Does everyone agree with that?
Yeah.
Probably give her a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we got delegation. Also say
Yeah.
5 as well.
Sure.
As well.
Implementation. Has she really mentioned anything about implementing through new ideas?
No, but
Wait,
like
it's-
it's not mentioned as much here. But she's
it
on
says
the thing.
she's one of the people who's been instrumental in getting offering recalcitrant department heads to go along with new and different budgeting ideas.
It seems like he's the developer and she's the implementer
Yeah.
of the 2.
That's sort of how I read into it.
So 5 for that, for implementation?
I wanted to say 5 for
4?
I'd say
4.
4.
Sure.
Okay.
And creativity.
Huh.
The case doesn't offer us as much
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
insight into that.
But maybe like, I don't know, not as much.
I'd probably say 2. I'd say
Yeah.
2,
Mhm.
yeah. And then impact of leaving. What are the members of her team gonna be? How are they gonna be affected after they're gone?
How do you rate that?
Yeah, that's right. Like, if you can picture them, ideally they go on
Like
your
5
team,
being like if they were to leave.
and then everybody
The
would be
team
fine.
takes it well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and everyone would be fine.
Yeah.
And then 1 being the department is in utter
Shambles.
chaos. Two things to think of for all of us is her level of experience, having only been with the company 4 years in that position, makes it a little bit easier for a team to be able to develop and move on. However, her highly personal aura of style of management is something that they've come accustomed to and is a really positive thing for the team. So 2 things to weigh there for her. What do you think?
I'd say better than worse. I'd say probably like a 3, but at the same time it's not gonna be easy for people to accommodate, especially if they join Tom's different style team.
Yeah, because it's hard to go from someone who's like very personal manager to if someone's not at all.
Opposites,
Yeah.
Definitely.
So does everybody think? What do I
Somewhere around in the middle, because I feel like it kind of.
I feel like a neutral score,
Yeah.
3 is
Three.
appropriate, but
Alright.
Okay.
And then we got Tom. So we got conflict management.
I feel like they actually said that there are actually conflicts under his style of management.
Yes.
as a result, he seems somewhat abrupt in his contact with people working for him and with other people in the organization.
Sometimes certain conflicts arise because of miscommunication signals.
Yikes.
Okay, so. not
Sounds
that.
like he creates conflict.
Yeah. So like 2.
Yeah. Worse than 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good with 2. Alright, delegation. He
Is it awkward?
I don't think they said anything about.
I feel like
his
he's
delegation style is a little bit different. At the same time, he doesn't necessarily mention doing that, but his group has been extremely high quality.
Yeah.
So it's been through leading by example.
Mhm.
Yeah.
that hard
Example.
work, you know, coming in extra hours.
Mhm.
I feel like that in itself is kind of a form of delegation, perhaps.
I would rate that on the more positive. If the first one was a 2, this one's a 4. I don't know how y'all feel about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I agree.
Implementation. So,
That one was higher.
yeah, I'd say that one was a 5.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been around with the company a
He's
while.
changed the whole
implementing,
company.
Yeah, a lot of things. Yeah.
Says he's been able to devise a number of very effective, simple procedures to carry out plans, so it sounds like
Mhm.
he's really highly skilled in that.
And creativity. He's come up with a bunch of ideas.
Mhm.
I would say 5.
5.
Boom. 5.
And then impact of leaving.
Hmm.
I don't know that it will be that chaotic if
Yeah, but also like the
Yeah.
leading by example thing can be a huge, because like one of you guys said, like if you have someone who's
Yeah.
like, you know, coming in early, then you're like, oh, if my boss is coming in early, like I should be going in early. From someone who's like slacking off, and then they're like, oh, okay, like if you know if they're slacking off, I can slack off. So it could have a huge impact.
Sure.
Just like he has such a specific way, I feel like, of how he controls his team, that it's like if he were to leave, it would be very different. Like it's a harder thing, I think, to ask for like a manager to come in who's like, yeah, or like personal, as opposed to someone who has a specific way of managing their team. So I think it would be like pretty impactful
Yeah.
in leaving.
So 1 or 2? What do you think?
I was gonna ask one thing of the group of, is it possible that him leaving has a positive effect on his team when it's possible that they receive a manager that's a little bit more personal and that reduces those conflicts, creating better output? Is that possible that him leaving actually has a more positive effect on the team? What do we think?
Also possible.
He's made a lot of high quality people, and it seems like the only bad thing about it is that it's miscommunication signals. If someone like Sissel were to take over, they'd already be motivated and have what they think of as problems completely solved.
That's true.
That's a good
Yeah.
point. That's a good point.
I was definitely in your camp
Me
with,
too,
with thinking that maybe the team could even improve after having a strong leader like that, you know, kind of
Yeah.
pave the way
Yeah.
for so many years, and then maybe they see that person leave and get promoted, so then they think, oh, that's how you get promoted.
That's a good point too.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Michael, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with like what both of you guys are saying. I don't know if I would put it all the way to 5, maybe 4. I think
With 5 is the most positive
Yeah.
situation. Okay.
I'm leaning towards the positive, like a positive impact if he got promoted though, because it's also true that it shows like he's been committed to the company for 15 years, and it's like if he doesn't get promoted, then it's like people who work in that style might be like I worked really hard, but it might not guarantee any results in terms of promotion.
And he's had a huge impact, I feel like, with the company that, like you said, like leading by example, like
Yeah.
they see someone who's like worked for a very long time, like implemented a lot of ideas, like that's how, like very hardworking, that's how you like move your way up in the company.
Yeah.
And tactically for the new department, if it's a smaller one and it's one that's not as highly performing, somebody like him grows departments
We'll
from
shake him up.
Yeah, that's a good point about how it would impact the team, like
the new one.
the new team, yeah, that's true.
4 or 5?
I'd say
I'm thinking
4.
4.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, I'll do the math real quick. Okay.
Here's a question. Are these